We view all print segments by exactly that, as a segment. And we have been in certain segments much longer than others. And this goes all the way back to photo printing. In the days of photo, we went from analog to digital quite fast. And we see that same transformation play out in every segment. We've been in publishing and direct mail and commercial for many years and have significant number of presses in those segments. And packaging, as far as inkjet packaging, is a little bit newer. And so we see very fast growth in that segment. It is something that is very exciting as we look out into the future because of the speed, the quality, and really the volume of packaging is substantial. And inkjet allows us to address that segment quite well. But across the HP portfolio, with our liquid electrophotography technology and our inkjet technology, labels and packaging is a tremendous growth opportunity within HP. We have to think completely differently about that. So in packaging with supply chains, we're talking very, very large volumes. And these are repeat orders that brands are placing with packaging manufacturers. And the mentality in supply chains is to order to some sort of forecast. And what we've seen is that forecasts are more unreliable. People need to respond to demand in a very different way. We have the fortunate opportunity that systems, whether that's software systems, ERP systems, are becoming more interconnected. And so we can respond to that demand much faster, and digital allows us to meet that changing requirement. Not yet. We still have a long way to go. Whether it could be substrate, for example. Lead times for substrates can be quick or they can be very long. And it really comes down to demand for some of those materials and substrates. In Europe, we have a big plastic to paper trend, a macro trend throughout all of packaging. And packaging papers specifically designed to tackle some of those requirements are in very, very high demand. So as we look at these changes that happen at the consumer level, all of the manufacturing around it needs to adjust their strategy and ability to supply those materials and products. Everybody has to assess their strategy and how quickly they can respond to those changes. Many of our customers have specific market segments that they're in packaging. So whether it's fruit and produce or consumer packaging, each one is going to have its unique characteristics. And so they'll have to look at their profile of customers, what do their customers need in order to understand what machines to purchase in order to respond. Yeah, we think about it from a materials application standpoint. So as we look to paper to plastic as a good example, all of the barrier properties that need to be built into that package and into that configuration for that market segment need to be just right. And that takes the work of the manufacturers of the substrate, it takes the universities to study the material science behind it, and it takes printing and ink manufacturers to look at the entire system end to end. And packaging is a global industry and a global business. Papers and materials can come from across the world in order to respond to that demand. And as we get into trends with trade and structure and containerization continues, as that continues, it becomes increasingly challenging to respond, but yet we have new tools all the time to look at that. We continue to see in packaging a lot of mergers and acquisitions, right, that can favor large corporations that are able to have the power in order to merge with each other. But everybody finds their own space, right? And their strategy is really dependent on their manufacturing strategy within a certain geography. We've seen across the pond mergers recently in the corrugated segment as an example. And it's a very interesting play because you have manufacturers that have strong foothold in the United States, but maybe not so much in Europe, that they become more and more global. And that's very important because it allows them to respond to their customer needs. But we've seen technology like machines of the T700 scale really address the specific manufacturing within a plant. In each environment, in each geography, we can look at their machine performance across the plant. What tools do they have? What assets mix do they have? When we look at that, digital allows them to produce more efficiently, and that's very important. The efficiency that you can gain from an investment in digital is something that you don't want to just look at the press. You want to look at the manufacturing flow of materials from raw materials through product out the door. By changing where we print in the plant, we free up capacity so we can centralize it digitally, and we can die cut and convert more efficiently. And that is always the constraint in a box plant. And so by freeing up that capacity, we can look at the growth opportunity within the existing asset mix in the plant. And that's very important. In order to deliver a solution that's fully integrated for machines of this scale, that's what PageWide Industrial focuses on. We have a printing press that is designed for productivity and designed for throughput, and that takes system engineering at this level to run many print heads in concert with each other. That's what we do very well within PageWide. We do have another division within HP for specialty printing technologies that have print heads in very unique applications, whether that's printing on the edge of a book or printing on manufacturing fill lines. There are applications for inkjet well outside of a press, of a fully integrated press. And so there are solutions, and those are very interesting to look at as well. For people looking for a fill line solution, for example, there are many inkjet solutions out there that continue to advance very quickly. We have a form factor that we need to meet, so the T1100 is squarely designed for a large corrugator, and making that corrugator efficiency and economics really transform the manufacturing within the corrugated segment. In the litho lamination or single face lamination market, we have very high graphics quality. We have a lot of smaller orders, for example, and these customers need assets as well in order to continue to respond to those changing market demands that they see. We invest in platforms that then are capable of being extended into either new markets or specialize within their own segment. And the investment in the platform comes first, and then we can build on it from there. So form factor and then applications.